Da, 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 da. What's up, guys? What's happening, guys? I got a lot of high school football to talk about. So I've been watching the Colquitt County Mill Creek game. Colquitt County, that game was pretty close. Mill Creek, Colquitt County now is pulling away. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can move myself over here. Dun, 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 dun. Andrew Watkins is checking in. Jefferson defeats Doherty tonight. 48-13, or so that was the score when you last checked. I got you there, buddy. All right, Bowden won 42-7 over Wilcox. What's up, Rich Daly? West Lawrence and Dublin winning big. Any surprises, guys? What's up with that Coffee Sequoia game? I was looking at that. Let me see if I can get see if I can get centered here. What's up, Claudia? We knew Lowndes was going to win. Absolutely. Have they won? What's up, Michael Baxter? Next week's football game is even bigger. Shut this front door, says Claudia. Shut the front door. What's up, Michael Baxter? What's happening, brother? Nadir Muse Muhammad. Sequoia beat. Oh, so that's Sequoia did win. Sequoia beat Coffee. Darn it. I mean, I had that was my upset pick in the Phil's pick 6. I had Coffee winning that one. But my man Nadir says Sequoia beat Coffee 31-14. Jamie Ledger, wow, Crisp lost? Man, that's a shocker. Now, who did Crisp play, Jamie? I'm trying to remember. I was thinking that Crisp, man, the way they had played in the latter part of the season, I thought that they were going to make a run in the playoffs, but it looks like that's not the case. That is so a couple of surprises. This is why it's the playoffs. This is why we get what we get, man. You never know what's going to happen. I do know that North Murray beat Cook tonight. What's up, Gabe Garrett? Jamie, Jamie Ledger, I already mentioned that. What's up, Brad King? Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes won big over Ace Charter, 42-9. Yeah, way to go, Gabe Garrett. What's up, brother? Toombs 50-6. Thomasville up next. Yeah, there was a lot of these first round games, guys. I'll be honest with you. There were some snoozers, man. That's why I really didn't go down the line and make a lot of just picks. You know, what I tried to do was focus on who I thought in each classification. If you guys hadn't saw that, go to our ITG Next site, where I pretty much tried to figure, who was the team to beat and what was going to be their path to get there. I did that with Bowden. I did that with Carver Columbus and so on. So it looks like Colquitt's going to defeat Mill Creek. Jeff Craig, Phil, I think you owe Lauren Maxwell an apology. He was dead on for the story. Listen, man, no apologies here. Brother, I don't know if you pay attention to my pick 6 that I do every week. Dude, I have been like spot on all year. So I was due for, one. Luke Nelson, what's up, buddy? Oh, man, a real squeaker there, says Big Buford. Buford over Richmond Hill, 45-0. Yeah, no surprise there. Richmond Hill, the 4 seed. We knew when Richmond Hill qualified for the playoffs that their reward was going to be to go up to Gloryland and get wiped out by Buford. Listen, guys, let me just tell you. Okay, in 6A, this should be Buford's year. I've been saying that all season long. Buford has got the best talent in the state. Maybe Grayson. Okay, I'll give you that. And I'll even call it a 3-horse race between Buford, Grayson, Carrollton. But, man, Buford just seems to be, just head and shoulders above everybody. So, I think that's been the case, in my opinion, the last couple of years, Luke Nelson, and anybody else who wants to talk about Buford. But I just think that it's time for Buford to rise up, man, and take this thing. But, again, Grayson made a big statement tonight, I think. They were leading Norcross by a bunch. Jane Harbin, Cuppet, what's up, Jane? Hoko, all over Creekview, 59-14. No surprise there. Wow, Scott Sumner, is that right? Did Berrien beat Lamar? Now, don't trust Max Preps, man. I can't tell you how many times I have relied on Max Preps. Here's the problem with Max Preps. Okay, anybody can go in there and post a score. All you got to do is be approved as a manager. I know because I've done that with a lot of teams to where nobody else would go and post scores. So I applied as a manager. I do that a lot with a lot of baseball teams because nobody will go on and post baseball scores. So I go on and do that. So anybody, if they feel like if they're being have some mischief in them, and want to get everybody in an uproar, they can they'll go in there and post stuff like that. So you just got to be careful. If you see something on Max Preps, get a second opinion. Double check it. All right. Creekside, Nadir Muse Muhammad. What's up, buddy? Creekside over Dalton, 70-7. There's yet another 70-point output from the team that loves to put up 70. Creekside. I've never seen anything like it. Nathan Sloan, go Pack, go. Lamar is balling, but Pack got to stop personal fouls. Yeah, they got that thing won. I think they were just going into the fourth quarter. Now, Nathan, Buford, if Colquitt wins, I think they've got the luxury of taking on Grayson next week. Hello. By the way, you guys don't forget, if those of you that don't know, I host the Colquitt County Coaches Show. And by the way, I host the McEachern Coaches Show. What is McEachern doing tonight? And again, I really haven't been keeping up a whole lot prior to going on to the broadcast. So let me know what's going on with McEachern tonight. I'd like to know. Abby Pearson Clinch wins 48-20. I know they were way up in that game. They were playing Chattahoochee. Any final on that Lowndes Collins Hill game? Claudia Noel Main told us that Lowndes had won. Last thing I had was on that 21-10. Looking also for an update on Brooks County. What's up, Stephen Tate? Stephen, I picked Coffee to win tonight, man. I thought tonight was going to be the night, and I don't care what the record was. I just thought that Coffee. I thought Coffee had been playing pretty well going down the stretch. So anyway, it is what it is. Coffee season. A lot of teams, guys. This is it. A lot of teams. We've been on here talking high school football all year long, and tonight is going to do it for several teams. I am a little surprised by that crisp score. Jamie, somebody tell me, who did Chris play? I can't even remember. I'm just. My Chromebook, by the way, that I normally have open over here on my left, my Chromebook has got a black screen. And normally I can do a hard reset on it and get it to come back up, but it's not working for me. Anybody out there that is a computer guru can help me out by doing a hard reset on a Chromebook, let me know. Because I usually have it as my go-to. I look over here on the left and I find out scores in real time and everything. So it is down right now, so I'm lost. Well, I'm not completely lost. I'm depending on you guys. So, Jay Lamar, 4 touchdowns, 170 yards. Appreciate that, man. Got to get my top performers in here. Thank you for that. By the way, I will take while Walton over McEachern 28-24. Holy Maloney. Ant Evans giving us the update on that one. Yikes, man. Come on, McEachern. Ant, how much time's left in that game, buddy? Can you tell me? McEachern undefeated. I mean, a lot of us got McEachern going to the quarterfinals to face off against Valdosta, and that's not good, man. Come on, McEachern. We yours truly hosts the McEachern Coaches Show with Kareem Reed. Chris played Stevens County. Thank you, Brad. Greg Maddox. What's up, Greg? Greg says it's getting cold out here. Appling 31-20 over Hart. Now, is that a final? Appreciate that, James Clemens. Jonathan Prince. What's the score with the Vikings and Collins Hill? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. Greg, what's up, Greg? Greg, are you at the game, man? Is that going final out there at the Concrete Palace? Andrew Watkins, flag football, Region 1, Area 1 as of next week, Monroe, Daugherty, Early County, and Sumter County. Yeah, I'm going to be releasing a flag football ranking, by the way. Kind of give an update on where all the teams are, who the top teams are. I know Colquitt has been doing pretty well, I think. Thomas County Central's got a good flag football team, but I'm willing to take all the flag football stuff that you guys are willing to give me. If this is your first time checking out the show, man, welcome in, guys. We do this every Friday night, 10 o'clock to midnight. I'm Phil Jones, ITG Next. We talk, look, what you see is what you get. You guys are as much a part of this show as me. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to read everybody's comments that come in. I don't want to leave anybody out. If I do miss you, I'll try to refresh or come back to me, man. Okay, so Brad and Nadir helping me out on that crisp Stevens County, Northeast Georgia team. I'm a little, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm a little surprised at that one. Okay, Lowndes 28-10. What's up, Mike Sorensen? Mike, what's going on, brother? I'm glad to see you in the house, man. Good to see you, Mike Sorensen. Really good, man. Good buddy of mine, Michael Sorensen. Good old Tifton boy. Worth County Rams, what are they doing tonight? What are the Worth County Rams doing tonight? Walton was my upset team to disrupt the playoff brackets. How about that, Danny Jones? Well, so, again, Walton, McEachern. Where's that game at, guys? Is that game final? Help me out here, man. I'm hoping not. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm a McEachern fan. I have been. I host the Kareem Reed Coaches Show. So is that Walton McEachern game? Where's that guy? Where's that out, guy? Where's that at, guys? Danny says, yeah, Walton was my upset team to disrupt the playoff brackets. I got you. Okay, Worth all over. Trevonte Smith, 69-0 Worth. Listen, guys, I've got Worth, and I've taken a lot of grief about this all year in case y'all had missed it. Some of y'all had missed it. So I do the all classifications top 25 for ITG Next. And I've had Worth County in my top 10, and I have caused so much grief about that. What are you doing ranking a Worth County team? What does it matter? I don't care how many A's the school's got in front of, and that's ridiculous. So now you're seeing why I've got Worth as well. I mean, they're annihilating everybody, and they're probably going to win a state championship. But so anyway. Tomorrow is the SIAC championship game in the good old Life City, Albany State University versus Benedict. Andrew Watkins. I think you guys were talking about that last week. Shay King. What's up, Shay? Yep, Colquitt County handling the Mill Creek Hawks. It's 34-17. By the way, that was one of my pick six games, Shay. I picked Colquitt 30-21, so I'm going to be in the ballpark on that one. My other pick six games, I had Coffee defeating Sequoia. I'm going to miss that one. I had Warner Robins over Eastside, 28-14. Anybody got an update on Warner Robins Eastside? I had LaGrange beating North Clayton, 33-21. I had Ware defeating Flowery Branch, 31-21. And I had Grayson. I know it. I took the easy way out on that one. I went pure chalk, baby, on Grayson and Norcross. Boy, I caught some grief on that. Well, listen, it's two blue bloods, man. I know Norcross ain't worth a flip this year, but And what is up with that, by the way? Valdosta, Mike Sorensen, thanks for that, man. Valdosta 28-10 on Decula. Is that final, Mike? Listen, but Valdosta's got to do better than that. I mean, Valdosta should be beating Decula 56-0 tonight. Okay, I'm just saying. Where 44-27 on Flowery Branch, Sam Gordon. Thank you for that. Is that final, Sam? 44-27. Wow. Touchdown Lee County, 28-21 over Sprayberry. Boy, that's a little tight in it. Guys, remember last year, Lee County beat Sprayberry like 63-0 in the third round. Dean Fabrizio told me. He said he was worried about that. Can you imagine? I bet in that Sprayberry locker room, they've had that score up on the whiteboard for 2 weeks, or however long they've known they were going to play Lee County. Fabrizio was worried about that. I'm telling you, he was worried about that. That's where, you beat somebody by 10 touchdowns and you got to play them again next year. Probably what happened with that Coffee Sequoia game. And listen, you remember last year, Coffee's Ty Woodgett ran for like 900 yards? Not quite, but it was pretty close. So, see, those things kind of come back to haunt you. Scott Sumner. Looking forward to Worth County, Bleckley County, two well-coached teams, Jeff Hammond and Von Lassiter. Yes, it is. Scott, are you any kin to Steve Sumner? I'm just curious. Shannon Moore gives us Warner Robins 28-14 over Eastside. No. That was my score. Is that final? Shannon, is that Warner Robins Eastside game? Is that a final score, or where is that? Because that's exactly what I picked, 28-14. I promise. You guys can check behind me. Phil's Pick Six. We post it every week at ITG Next. Holy moly, how about that? Norcross, longtime head coach, I know. Yeah, believe me, I know. Keith Maloof, he left. Listen, and Nadir, I don't know how many shows you've caught with me this year, but this has been an overriding theme of mine. If you notice, when you see a longtime coach suddenly bail out, that's usually not a good sign. I mean, that's what happened at Irwin County. When Casey Soliday left, Irwin County, no one has fallen farther and harder. I've never seen anything like what's happened at Irwin County. Never. Irwin County, guys, listen to me. You go back and look at Irwin County over the last 10 years, state championship final, semifinal, state championship game. I mean, amazing, guys. Just amazing. The feed I'm watching is frozen. Am I frozen to you guys? There we go. Okay. Shannon Moore, Warner Robins score is final. Just ended 28-14. Boom. I got it right on the money. Right on the money. I predicted Warner Robins to beat Eastside 28-14. Yeah, I sure did. I tell you, man, I've been red hot on these pick sixes this year. Jeff Herron, the former longtime Camden coach, sent me a text a couple of weeks ago. Said, man, you need to go to Vegas. I don't gamble, man. I do not gamble. I like my money too much. I'm not going to do that. But he was just being funny. Speaking of Camden County, what about that situation? Have y'all heard about that? Travis Rowland got fired on Wednesday morning. And 48 hours later, this morning, Camden announces they've hired John Lindsay. And I spoke to him, by the way. I've already written a story on it. John's great, glad to be back at Camden. But boy, that didn't take long, did it? That's got to be the quickest turnaround. Obviously, they must have had John in mind. Long-time Camden assistant. He was Jeff Herron's defensive coordinator back in those 2008, 2009, I think it was, state championships. But anyway. But that has got to be the quickest turn. I mean, I'm wondering if Coach Rowland got his office cleaned out before they announced they had hired John Lindsay. John Lindsay is a good hire. I am also hearing that they're trying to bring back a lot of that old Jeff Herron gang of coaches that were involved in the good days, the good years of Camden. Brookwood over Archer, 42-21. That's a little bit of a surprise, isn't it, Nadir? Tara, Blondell, Zomer. I hope I got that right. Sequoia beats Coffee 31-14. Tara, I hope I didn't butcher your name too bad. I apologize if I did. Mike Sorensen, Fitzgerald 42, Academy of Classic Education 9. Who is that? Stephen Tate, only 2 coming back that I believe. Stephen, you talking about Coffee? Or what, buddy? Oh, Irwin, I got you. I see it now. Irwin lost so many seniors last year. They did, and, that's why I did not have them ranked in the preseason top 10, Steve, and I caught a lot of flack about that. We do our top 10 that's part of the statewide composite poll with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And I was the only guy out of the AJC, Score Atlanta, 680 The Fan Atlanta, Max Preps, whoever else. There's a couple others that do that with us. And I was the only guy that didn't have Irwin preseason top 10. And people were mad, like, what's wrong with you? But I saw that. I saw where they had lost everybody. But Steven, but even with that, man, I'm shocked that they failed as hard as they did. Nathan Sloan, Walton beat oh my gosh. Oh boy. Wow. That is a shocker, guys. Now that one has got me. That one surprised me. Ouch. Man, oh man. I am shocked. That's the first shocker. That's it. That's the first one that has left me speechless, as you guys saw. Wow. God, look, man, me and several other people had McEachern going quarterfinals, if not further, but ouch. So that's the first big shocker of the night right there. Walton defeats McEachern. Man, boy, guys, I'm stunned at that one. I really am stunned. What do you guys think about that? That's a shocker to me. Got to be honest with you. Gainesville 48-3 over Dunwoody. Lowndes up 31-10, 6:33 left in the game. While Phillip and Stephanie Rowan. So Berrien pulls off a 7-0 win over Lamar. That is huge. Congratulations to Jackson Dean. Can you guys believe Barron County, a playoff win? They've been terrible these last few years. Jackson Dean came in. What an impact. That's what high school football is all about. Congratulations, Jackson Dean and Berrien. 7-0. That's big time. Timmy Cox. I'm trying to get everybody in here, man. Go Dog 65. What's up, buddy? Go Dog 65. Let me see here. See if I can get everybody. Harlan Shackelford. What's up, Harlan? I was in Thomasville today, buddy. I sure was, man. I spent some time in Thomasville today. Thomas County Central, a touchdown shy of breaking all-time scoring record in any game tonight. Utter dominance. Harlan, I get it, man. But come on. Some of these first-round games are just doozies. There's no suspense there. It is utter dominance. I get you. I just hate these lopsided games where there's just no suspense. I mean, it's just... Like, come on, man. Let's get into some semifinals and quarterfinals where we won't have 60-0 and 80-0 scores. I just hate that. Lyric. Well, first of all, let me get Drew Brees, not Drew Brees, but Drew Brees. Toombs County over Temple, 50-6. Dave Pollard. Bowden was up 42-0 at the half over Wilcox. Not a surprise, but I'm surprised at that score. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that. By the way, you guys check out my story I wrote where, again, I said, who's going to stop Bowden from 4 straight state championships? That's what they're going for. How about Bowden, guys? They're in Carroll County. Now, you're in Carroll County. Bowden is in Carroll County. You know who else is in Carroll County? Carrollton. You know who else is in Carroll County? Central Carroll. Those are 3 big-time, dominant powerhouse teams in one county. That's amazing. And Carroll County is not this massive, big county. That's pretty impressive. Gotta be honest with you. By the way, well, I'm sure Carrollton's beating the crap out of somebody. T.J. Allen, go Cats. Larry Baker, the thing with bringing back the Camden Glory days besides coaching seems that size, nutrition, and weights will have to be taken much more seriously. Agree. Listen, there's been more conversation about that in the last month than I can remember. You know, I interviewed Jeff Herron and Rush Probst. I talked about it on last Friday's show. And Jeff Herron and Rush both told me, when I asked him, I said, what's it going to take for a South Georgia team to win a state final in the state's biggest classification, meaning 6A or 7A? And I'm not talking about 5A. I'm not talking about Thomas County Central. I mean, they're doing fine. But I'm talking about 6A. You know, everybody's wondering, can Lowndes do it this year? Can Valdosta get it done this year? Can Colquitt get it done this year? You know, it's been a long time since a South Georgia team won a state title. I think it was Colquitt County, and Rush did it, 2015 or so? Is that right? Anyway, whenever it was. But Rush and Jeff Herron both said the same thing. I said, what's it going to take for a South Georgia team in the state's largest classification to win a state title? Jeff Herron said, you got to be different. Rush said the same thing. Now, they came at it from two different ways. Rush was different by offering the nutrition program that no one else had done before Rush got to Colquitt. Colquitt was this mediocre, just meandering 500 team every year. And Rush gets there, and it wasn't like Rush had a crystal ball or had this, wave the magic wand. Rush, instead, got the nutrition program. Spend a lot of money. Schools spend a lot of money. You got to realize they feed these kids. A lot of these schools have to feed these kids year round. Doesn't matter if they play or not. If you're on the team, you get fed. I mean, what you going to do? Not feed the third string guy? You can't do that. So this costs a lot of money, but that's what you got to commit to if you want to win. And Rush did it. Jeff Herron, on the other hand, said, well, the way we were different, we just started running the wing tee. No big school was doing the wing tee. And, he did it. Lowndes did it. Two of the very rare big school programs that run the triple option wing tee. And by golly, you see the results that it provided. No one else, as far as I know, on the big level, runs the wing tee or triple option anymore. And, not coincidentally, they haven't won a state championship. That's food for thought, guys. Just think about what that. And again, that comes from two of the most winningest coaches in the state. They told me that. That's pretty good stuff. You can check out my story I wrote on that. It's at our ITG Next site. Michael Baxter, Milton 35-17 over Shiloh. That is a final. Lowndes 31-10. Aiden Andrews, a 46-yard field goal. Ooh, I like that. Guys, I want top performers from all three areas, offense, defense, special teams. Anybody else that's kicking field goals out there, like Aiden Andrews at Lowndes, I want to hear about them. This is for our top 10 performers. We single out the top 10 kids, excuse me, that make it happen. So I want to hear from you guys about top performers. Got a lot of people checking out the show tonight. I appreciate everybody checking in. If this is your first time, I'm Phil Jones, ITG Next. We do this every Friday night, 10 to midnight. I'll be back with you on Monday, 5:30, and we'll have a lot better idea and assessment of all these games from this weekend, and we'll let you know who's going to be going to the second round. We'll have all the playoff first round games finished, obviously, by Monday, and we'll be able to start giving you some previews on Monday night show at 5:30. But we do this every Friday, and we're going to do this all the way through the state championships every Friday night, 10 o'clock to midnight. So if this is your first time, man, welcome in. And again, let me hear your comments. I try to read everybody's comments. Speaking of which, let me get to it. Mike Sorensen, Chris played Stevens County. Not sure you got that answer earlier. I did, buddy, but thank you, Mike Sorensen. I appreciate you, brother. David Woods, Grayson, 44-7 over Norcross is at final. Harlan Shackelford, pretty sure they were 500 the year they won 2. Harlan, you talking about Colquitt? What are you talking about, buddy? Michael Gibson. Okay, thank you. What about Statesburg game? Jamarian Glaze, Valdosta 49 Decula. Okay, so Valdosta finally pulled away like they should have. Decula actually led in that game. It was pretty tight back in the first quarter, first half. But Valdosta got it together, pulled away as they should. And as I've been saying, I think Valdosta got a great team. I thought they were the best team in Region 1-6A. I've been saying that all year long. And look, they've got a chance to make some noise. Now, they'll eventually have to get through Buford, and that, we'll see how that goes. Colquitt County next week, by the way, I think is going to have to play Grayson. Jordan Duke. What's up, Jordan? A lot of people were expecting Seminole County to win tonight, but they are losing 23-7 against Washington Wilkes. Jordan, that is a surprise. I think I mentioned Seminole as one of the possibilities. Are they A Division II? Jordan, I can't remember. Again, what I've been doing, because a lot of these first round games, they were just too easy to pick the winner. So what I've been doing with all the classifications here at ITG Next, I've been actually talking about who the teams are I think that have a chance in making it to the state finals. Bowden, by the way, in A Division II, going for their 4th consecutive state championship. Not unprecedented. But I believe, was it Eagles Landing Christian Academy that's won 5? I think they're the only team to do it, 5 in a row. Nathan Sloan, 35-24, packed with 2 minutes left. Yikes, man, that's got too close. See, Pack's got to put them away, Nathan. Jose Padilla, what's going on, buddy? Where's Obadiah at, by the way? Looking for Obadiah. Jose and Obadiah, Thomas County Central's co-number 1 fans. I love it. Deerfield will face John Miller's next Friday for all the marbles. Is that right, for the state title? Again? Terrell Miller, Cairo 36-7 all over Liberty County. How about Cairo and David Coleman? What a job David Coleman has done with the syrup makers this year. Incredible. Thanks for that, Jordan. I appreciate that. That's what I thought. Yeah, I had Seminole County as one of the teams that might give Bowden fits, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. That is an upset. I'll be honest with you. That's a big-time upset right there. McEachern goes down tonight to Walton. That, to me, is the single biggest upset of the first round that I am hearing about yet. If you guys have got another big upset, that Seminole County, now they haven't lost yet, but they're losing, and they're losing by a lot. It's got to be getting late because it's, 10:30, and a lot of these games either start at 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. So it's getting really late. Larry Baker is asking me, Nathan Sloan, Pack wins. Phil, yes, sir, one more game. Well, don't say it that way. You never know. But Grayson is pretty tough. Nathan Sloan. No, I'm sorry. Who we got here? Monica Fulton Watson. A lot of people thought Lamar was going to beat Berrien, but Berrien got that win 100%. Now, listen, okay, so I stand corrected. Not stand corrected, but so McEachern, biggest upset loser tonight. But Berrien defeating Lamar, that's a pretty big stunner as well. I'll give you that one, Monica. Good call. Donna Futch also giving me Berrien 7 Lamar. That is huge win for Jackson Dean over at Berrien County. That program has struggled ever since was it Coach Pilcher that was there. There's a blast from the past for you Thomas County Central fans. Wasn't it Pilcher that went over to Berrien and kind of resurrected the program? Am I got that right? Larry Baker. Phil, is Grayson the nation's unanimous number 1? Of course, I understand there being different polls. Larry, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. But you got to put Grayson in there, and Carrollton's got to be in there. Like I said earlier, man, right now, I think those 3 teams are pretty even. Maybe Grayson and Buford a little above Carrollton, but not by much. I think those are the 3 teams to watch in 6A, for sure. Mike Sorensen and Colquitt going to have to travel. Colquitt going to have to clean up their penalties going into next week. It's helping Mill Creek in the game. Yeah, sounds like Mike, for sure. Jay Gome, Walton beats McEachern. Yeah, that's the big upset. I think, to me, that's the biggest upset of the night. In case you guys not familiar, I host the Colquitt County Coaches Show. You guys can watch it right here on our video feed at ITG Next. Myself and Sean Calhoun will talk about tonight's big game on GPB, and then he and I will also talk about their next game coming up against Grayson. I'll also host the McEachern Coaches Show, and that's going to be tough. I'll have to talk with Kareem Reed, and it's going to be a disappointing show for sure. Also, I host the Roswell Coaches Show. Hopefully that's going to be a good one. Me and the Roswell coach, JT Thompson, we host that one. Yours truly hosts the Worth County Coaches Show with Coach Jeff Hammond. That's going to be a good one. The Houston County Coaches Show I host. First one I do every Monday morning with Jeremy Edwards and the Houston County Bears. That's going to be a good one. And I think that's it. 5 of them right now. We did host the Tift County Coaches Show, so I had 6 to start the season. I've had a blast with these coaches, by the way. Lee County versus Sprayberry, 28-21. Sprayberry has ball at their 40-yard line, 5 minutes left, fourth quarter. Woo! Getting down to cases there, man. I told you, Dean Fabrizio, I talked to him, I guess on Monday. He said, man, I'm worried about Sprayberry. We beat them 63-0 last year. So you know somewhere in that Sprayberry locker room, they've had 63-0 written on the whiteboard. I guarantee it. No doubt. All right. Southwest Georgia Academy. What's up, Brooks Carter? Appreciate you, brother. Southwest Georgia Academy, 42-7 over Southland. SGA is headed to play next Saturday at Mercer in the GIAA AA State Championship game against Brentwood at 3 o'clock. Go SGA. Early County, 43-6 over Greene County tonight. Washington Wilkes, 32-15 over Seminole. That is a upset for sure. Jose Padilla. Yeah, Coach Pilcher was there, buried his final coaching. He retired. That's what I thought. So here's Jackson Dean now, doing a great job, taking over for Ken Kofer. Was it Ken Kofer? No, Ken Eldridge. I'm sorry. Ken Eldridge was the coach at Berrien last couple of years. By the way, Coach Eldridge is the tight ends coach at Fitzgerald now. Great guy. Great guy. Just couldn't get it done at Berrien. Look, Berrien's tough, but Jackson Dean went in there. You know, he had that Jackson Dean had that motto at Berrien this year. I'm trying to remember what it was. Had everybody wearing the T-shirts, and it's all about changing the culture. Which, by the way, don't worry, I'm going to get back to your comments in a minute. Guys, I want to get back to Travis Rowland. Travis Rowland, the Camden coach, gets let go after 2 years. So I'm writing a story, and I'd love to hear, I'm talking to some coaches and getting their quotes. How long should a head football coach be given to succeed? Is 2 years enough? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Jeff Littleton at Tift County told me, and he's going to be quoted in the story, he told the folks at Tift County, he said, listen, it's going to take us 5 years to get this thing straightened out. And if you guys aren't happy with that, that's cool. But take it or leave it. I'll take the job, but we need 5 years to get things straightened out here at Tift County. It's just been that bad. That's being realistic. The administration said yes. 5-year I'm assuming it's a 5-year contract. But that's what you got to have. I think it's all about expectations. You've got to come to an agreement with the administration as to, what's it going to take. I think the problem with Travis Rowland at Camden, he came in behind Jeff Herron, who had taken Camden to the semifinals a couple of years ago. You guys remember that? And that was the longest run that Camden had made in a while. So I think Camden fans were up for that. We're expecting more of that. It didn't come this past year. Of course, now this year, Camden did not even make the playoffs, and I think that's not Camden. First year that Camden missed the playoffs since 2017, by the way. Just curious, though, how long should a coach be given? Warner Robins 2014. Jeffrey Rowland. I know it, man. I got it right on the money. Warner Robins Eastside, I predicted 28-14 as one of my Phil's pick 6 games of the week. I nailed it right on the dot. Man, I can't believe it. A blind squirrel gets a nut or whatever they say. Look, I just make these picks. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. It's no big deal. Listen, I just have fun, man. It's just fun. It's just fun. I don't take myself too seriously. I promise you guys. Donna Futch, thank you for also, along with Jose Padilla, for confirming that. Appreciate that. All right, Gabe Garrett, here's one. Toombs County's running back Justin Powell, 4 carries, 196 yards, 4 touchdowns. Justin Powell, 496 yards. Raise the bar. That's it, Matthew Stover. Raise the bar. That's been Jackson Dean's motto, his rallying cry all year long since he took over at Barron County. Boy, you had those kids buy in. I love stories like that. I just love that. Michael Ward wants to know the Coffee County score. I think Sequoia won 38-14. Somebody double check me on that. Michael Ward, I think that was the final. What's up, Mike? Mike Sorensen, we need you doing play-by-play on GPB. They are too Northern Georgia biased. For those of you that don't know, man, we've been doing the ITG Next Game of the Week the last 5 years, and this was the first year we decided to try this Friday night podcast. And I'm going to be honest with you, I miss these Friday night games, man. We had a blast. Mike Sorensen was there with us every Friday night, man. We do the games. Most of them were up in Atlanta, and we turn around and drive back. Get back to that's why I do the show from Valdosta. We're based in Valdosta. Get back at 4:30 in the morning, making those stops at Buc-ee's. You never believe how many people are at Buc-ee's at 2:30 in the morning. It's incredible. Good times. Good times. But we're having a good time doing this show on Friday night. I hope you guys are liking it. Jackson County, oh boy. Oh my gosh. Nadir Muse Muhammad tells us that Jackson County has defeated Glenn Academy. How bad? Where'd you go, brother? 50-7? God, what has happened to Glenn Academy? I love Rocky Hidalgo. He's a fiery guy, man. He's a character. He's a good coach. But what has happened to Glenn Academy? The Red Terrors. If Ware walks in against Creekside with the overwhelming amount of penalty yards against Flowery Branch tonight, they're going to be made an example out of bad. Okay, so you're saying that Ware, Larry Baker, is going to play Creekside next week? Ouch. All right, Jamal Choice, TCC 72-14. Yeah, I kind of thought that would be that way. Donna Futch. Coach Pilcher was reviving our team, but they lost confidence under Coach Eldridge, in my humble opinion. Yep. Good call. Good call. There's Obadiah Farley. Obadiah, I've been putting the call out for you. TCC going to play Villa Rica round 2. Oh, my gosh. Come on, man. Can we just take TCC and just kind of fast forward to the semifinals? Better yet, let's just give the trophy to them. No, I can't say that. We got Roswell, we got Hoko, and can't say that. Still got some teams, but it ain't going to be Villa Rica. I can promise you that. We'll probably get another 72-14 score next week. Shannon Moore, 31-16 Lowndes. There's a minute 56 left in that game. So Lowndes going to defeat my buddy Drew Swick and Collins Hill tonight. Worth County Rams says Fowler Carly. Rams 69-0. Yeah, no problem there. By the way, check out our Worth County Coaches show I do with Jeff Hammond on Monday morning. I have a blast with these coaches shows. We're going to have a good time this week talking to Sean Calhoun, Colquitt County Coaches show. They win tonight on the GPB Game of the Week. Over Mill Creek. Or I think it's final. Shannon Moore. Okay, I'm sorry, Shannon. That's your Jose Padilla. Hey, Phil Obadiah Farley has made it here. I know it. I saw him. I'm so glad. Makes my day when I see Obadiah in here. Obadiah, by the way, man, I was in Thomasville today, and I started to reach out to you. I started right by the hospital. I was selling a little advertising over here in Thomasville today. Knocking on doors, man.
Mike Sorensen, Buc-ee's, baby. I love Buc-ee's. That's one thing I got to tell you, I miss doing the games on Friday night. I really miss going by Buc-ee's. Stop up there on the way up to Atlanta and on the way back. Question of the night. Amongst all the playoff games. Is Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich overrated? I don't think it is. I think it's all that in a bag of chips. And yeah, I like those, what do they call them? The Buc-ee chips, beaver chips. They're the fresh cut potatoes. I used to like get a bag and eat them while I walked around Buc-ee's. I pay for them. I didn't see them. It's just fun, you know. It's fun to roam around Buc-ee's. What's up, Deidre Jordan? Hoco 5914 over Creekside. Y'all going to have a blast talking to Hoco head football coach Jeremy Edwards on the Hoco Coaches Show on Monday. That's going to be a lot of fun. Rod Gee to P. Godfrey. How do McEachern lose? Well, easy road for Valdosta. You're right. That's the shocker of the night for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm shocked. When I saw that score earlier, I sat here for like 30 seconds in pure silence. I don't understand that. I really do not understand how that happened. You're watching the ITG Knicks Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of our Friday night soiree. We do this every Friday night, 10 to midnight, and we have a blast. I'm trying to read everybody's comment. If I miss you, come back to me. Just come back to me. Just post again. Jose Padilla, I did not enjoy one of the restaurants, and I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about riding because, you know, hey, man, lunch is important to me. It's only meal 8. I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat dinner. I eat lunch, like a mid-afternoon lunch. And I was thinking about, I'll tell you what, do this for me, because I'm going to go back over here next week. Give me a good recommendation in Thomasville. Now, not somewhere I can eat everywhere else. I was thinking about going by Whataburgers, but my gosh, man, that drive-through is out the street every time I go to Whataburgers. But I don't want Whataburgers. I want a nice place. So suggest a nice place. Or I get a good meal. But that is a good question, Jose Padilla. Best question of the night. Jordan Duke, 32-23 final with Washington Wilkes and Seminole. Wow. All right, so did Washington Wilkes beat Seminole? Is that what you're saying? Incredible. All right, let me try to get caught up here, man. Love the comments, by the way, guys. I love it. I'm trying to get everybody's comment. If I miss you, just come back to me, man. Just give me another comment. Post again. No problem. I want to get everybody in here, man. All right, James Raymer, 34-21 Lee County with 2:34 left. Looks like Lee County's going to win that one over Sprayberry. Ware will face Creekside next week, who was a winner over Dalton. Yeah, it's, again, Creekside loves to put 70 points up on everybody. Will they do it against Ware? Wouldn't hurt my feelings, I'll tell you that. Lowndes at North Gwinnett. Oh, snap. Oh, I love it. Hey, listen, these Lowndes teams have got to step up. Lowndes can beat North Gwinnett. I mean, it's not going to be easy. So is Lowndes got to travel to North Gwinnett? Is that right? North Gwinnett, that's right. North Gwinnett's on 1 seed, right? You're right. That's going to be a good ball game. And that's going to be a good ball game there. Is there a final for the Bremen Pepperell game? Gabe Garrett wants to know. Cairo versus Troop, second round, says Terrell Miller. Boy, that's going to be a good one. By the way, Troop is one of my teams. There were about 5 teams I predicted back in the preseason. Troop, McEachern, Cambridge. I'm trying to think who else I had. There was 5 teams I had to watch for, and Troop was one of them. I've had Troop in the top 5 in what's that, 3A? And 3A. And again, I was the first one to have them ranked that high. And again, because Troop County brought everybody back this year, so keep an eye on Troop County. That's going to be one to watch next week. Does anybody have a score on LaGrange and North Clayton? By the way, Any score on LaGrange, North Clayton tonight? Jordan Duke, Washington Wilkes will be at Bowden next week. Is that right? Appling on to the next round. What a job Tucker Pruitt has done, Kevin Mitchell, huh? Tucker Pruitt comes to Appling. They get beat. Get their socks beat the first couple of games, and it looks like, oh boy, here we go. But Tucker Pruitt, what a great job he's done. Mike Sorensen says, all right, so here's my first recommendation. Mike Sorensen is suggesting Sweet and Savory Sisters in Thomasville. I'm going to write that down. Hey, that sounds like good country cooking, Mike. I'm just guessing. Okay, so this is the second one. Somebody said Jonas. I didn't know what they were talking about. So Jamal Choice says, try Jonas in Thomasville. Is that the Jonas Brothers? Just kidding. So I got a couple of recommendations here. Sweet and Savory Sisters and Jonas in Thomasville. Oh, man. Another heartbreaker. Nadir, you're bringing me a lot of heartbreak tonight, brother. Newton over Peachtree Ridge, 33-14. I thought Peachtree Ridge might. That was one of my upset picks. Not on my pick six, but I just thought that Peachtree Ridge might have a chance to upset, but they did not. Brad Phillips, what's up, Brad? 48-20. Clinch County wins over. I think it was Chattahoochee they played. Shannon Moore, 37-16. Lowndes is that final over Collins Hill. Lowndes now gets the luxury of driving to Swanee, Georgia, and taking on North Gwinnett. ECI comes to Clinch next week. That'll be a pretty good game. At least better than the Chattahoochee game. Kevin Mitchell, he's doing a great job. Who is that now, Kevin? Which one are you talking about, brother? All right. So, Larry Baker, here we go. 48-38, LaGrange over North Clayton. Yeah, I had 40. Hold on, what did I have? I had 33-21. So I had LaGrange winning by 12, and they win by 10. So pretty close. But LaGrange gets the win over North Clayton. Boy, North Clayton has got a heck of a quarterback. I'm trying to remember his name. He's a ball player. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I mean, he does everything. Jose Padilla, Woodstack Jonas is top. You can't go wrong. Is that what it's called? Woodstack Jonas? So it's not just Jonas, it's Woodstack. Is that barbecue or what? Mike Sorensen, Cajun cooking. Shrimp etouffee. Well, I'm not a shrimp guy. They're a bottom feeder. But anyway, I can find something to eat there. I got you. That sounds pretty good. North Oconee over Perry, 31-15. Mike, that's a good recommendation. I appreciate that. I have to get me some. What's the Cajun sausage, Mike? Is it boudin? Is that what it is? A little spicy sausage, good stuff. James Raymer, so Lee County does defeat Sprayberry 34-21 tonight. Okay, Kevin, you were talking about Appling's new coach Tucker Pruitt. Yep, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, he's done a great job this year. You're watching our Friday night scoreboard show, guys, and it's not as much scoreboard as just yakking and me reading y'all's comments. You guys are the show, man. It's not me. You guys are the show. I try to read everybody's comment. That is my goal. So if I miss you, just come back to me. See, we talk about food. We talk about football. We talk about anything. How about that Georgia-Texas game tomorrow? Y'all, I don't talk much college football on here, but, man, that is going to be a big one. And by the way, so what right now is shaping up to be the big second-round games in the state next week, guys? Warren County 42-30 over Mitchell County. By the way, I'm still a big Ashley Henderson fan. He, of course, was the former Thomas County Central coach fan. He was the former coach. He was the former Valwood coach. And Ashley has been doing a heck of a job up at, I don't know why I can't think, Jasper County, Monticello. He's done a heck of a job. He had them like 9-1. They got beat by Lamar. Was it Lamar County? So, anyway, kind of wondering what Jasper County did tonight, Monticello. If you guys got anything on that one, I'd love to know. Nadir Muse Muhammad, North Murray 22-14 over Cook. Yeah, it is. Mike Sorensen, you're right. It's Boudin. It's the sausage. That's right. Mike, you're making me hungry, man. Problem in Valdosta, there's nothing open. Hold on just a second. Coach, I'm on the show, man. Log into the podcast, buddy, if you can hear me. All right. Matt DeBuck checking in with me. Raymond over Dodge County tonight, 56-21. Jose Padilla, yes, I think Jasper County won tonight big. Props to Coach Henderson. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a class guy. Peach County, 53-28 over Cherokee Bluff. Wow. Score was 53-6 with the starters in. Yikes. Peach struggled. Peach got beat by who? Cairo for the region championship. So it looks like that may have won. Listen, guys, I've talked about this before. Peach County, may get fired back up. Sometimes if you lose, that'll restart you. Of course, you don't want to lose in the playoffs because then it becomes, you're done. But Peach County may have had a resurgence, and they may have caught their second win. Sometimes that's when a loss does you good, as long as it doesn't eliminate you from the season. So we'll see what happens with Peach County. I think they may make a run there. So Jasper County 44-13 over Gordon Central. Thank you for that, Nadir Muse Muhammad. James Reamer, Lee has got to go to Hughes. Okay, so Lee goes to Hughes, Hoko to Rome. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about these games, guys. And where's my man Darius Kirksey, a big Hughes fan? So, does Lee County have a shot at beating Hughes? And what do you guys think about that Hoko Rome? Man, John Reed, has he not got the toughest draw in the state of any classification? He's got Thomas County Central the last 2 years, I think, in the second round, or maybe that TCC Rome game, 3 years ago was a semifinal game. Is that right? Or quarterfinal game? When Drew Renault kicked the last-second field goal to beat Rome up there at Barron Stadium. But I think it was last year Thomas County Central beat Rome in the second round. And now John Reed and Rome have got to play Hoko. That's going to be one. Boy, I'll tell you what, guys. See, we're going from a lot of duds in this first round to some really good games in the second round. Some good games coming up. Nathan Sloan, North Clayton and LaGrange. What? They play tomorrow? Really? Well, what was the score somebody gave earlier? See, I'm telling you, you go to Max Prep, you never know what you're going to get. Sandy Creek, 42-9 over Cedar Grove. And by the way, what in the world has happened to Cedar Grove? That's another one of those, whatever happened to Cedar Grove? Whatever happened to, you guys remember Eagles Landing Christian Academy? ELCA? Jonathan Guest, there's another example, I'm telling you. Jonathan Guest leaves ELCA, and anytime, I've said this before, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but if you see a longtime coach leave a program just out of the blue, just like our guy at Norcross did last year when he left, Keith Maloof, you see that happen, and you're like, wonder why he's leaving. Well, you find out the next year. Casey Soliday, he leaves Irwin County, and they collapse. Jonathan Guest leaves ELCA a few years back. Remember, he leaves there and goes to Hemron Christian. And ELCA has just fallen off the map. I don't understand it. Maybe these coaches see what's about to come. Maybe they see where the feeder program is about to dissolve. I don't know. That's just my guess. Cedarion Williams, what's up, brother? Go Cats. Cats got it done tonight. They finally woke up and got the kind of win they should have gotten. Cedarion. So who does Valdosta play next week? I've seen all these brackets, but I'm just lost. Matt DeBuck is in the house. Cardinal Gibbons head football coach. All he says is air raid. That's all he's got to say. I'm hoping you guys did well tonight. Coach, what was the final? Johnny Holcomb checks in. What's up, Johnny? Johnny with the Go Cats. So Valdosta Decula was a lot closer than it should have been. But Valdosta wakes up, and they did what they had to do, which was completely destroy an overmatched Decula team about a mile from where I'm sitting right now. So, Johnny and you guys, who is, so we got some Valdosta Wildcat Cats coming in to the discussion. We probably should have some Lowndes Vikings fans coming into the discussion. Okay, so Valdosta's got Brookwood. That'll be better than Decula, but Valdosta will obviously be favored in that one. So, Johnny and Sedarian, I guess you guys are seeing where McEachern gets upset tonight. Biggest upset in my opinion. McEachern, we thought McEachern and Valdosta was going to be on a collision course for the quarterfinals. That's not going to happen. That might further open the door now for Valdosta. Sedarian Williams, Valdosta Brookwood, hopefully they clean up the defense. Chrissy Monique, Worth 69-0. Go and get that state title to Worth County. That's why I've got them ranked in the top 10. I've been catching heat about that all year. I don't care if they are a single A team. That doesn't matter to me. Some of you guys have been giving me such grief about that. Why are you ranking a small school in the top 25? Because they're good. Like, they're really good. That's why I've had them. Stephen K. Wynn, what's up, Stephen? Were you at the Lee County game? When McEachern lost, that bracket favors Valdosta. Yes, it does. Well, up until they get to Beaufort. And where would that be? And that'd be the case with anybody. I'm not hating on Valdosta. Just Evan Reese, Centennial over Locust Grove is another big upset. Yes, I agree. Jane Harmon Cuppet, did Marietta win tonight? Great question. Johnny Holcomb, Colquitt versus Grayson will be a good game. Don't count Colquitt out. Johnny, I don't know, man. I mean, look, and well, I'll talk to Sean Calhoun, by the way. I do the host the Sean Calhoun Coaches Show on Tuesday. And we'll talk about the win tonight over Mill Creek and what Colquitt's going to have to do to try to slow down Grayson. I'll tell you this. Feed the beast. I always say that. If you've got a great running back, give it to Jay Lamar like 30 times, right? But, Johnny, I hear you, man. That should be a pretty decent game. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Grayson is so good, man. They destroyed Norcross tonight, I think it was. Walton is looking to get their get back against Valdosta this year, Evan Reese says. Look, they beat McEachern. That's an upset, but that's not going to happen. Valdosta is really tough. Michael McNichol, what's up? Question, do you know if Peach or Warner Robbins host next week? I do not know, but we have the best fans that watch this show, so they'll be able to tell us. So, guys, Michael McNichol wants to know, will Peach or Warner Robbins host next week? Are they playing each other? Is that what's happening? Deerfield Windsor beats Westfield 28-14. So Deerfield Windsor are going to play for yet another state championship, right? Evan Reese. Okay, so you just mentioned that one. Harrison 45-35 over Marietta. Oh, man. Rosser Sutherland and Tayretta Mayretta. Disappointing. But what a great job Cam Duke did coming up from Edgewater, Orlando this year in resurrecting and getting folks excited up in Marietta in Blue Devil country. Gabe Garrett, that Toombs Worth game is going to be fire in the championship. Stephen K. Wynn, Harrison beat Marietta, yep. Boy, by the way, Stephen, I don't know if you heard yet or not, McEachern goes down tonight to Walton. That's the biggest upset of the night to me. Johnny Holcomb, shout out to Berrien on a huge win versus Lamar. Absolutely, Johnny. We've been talking about that one. Jackson Dean, what a great job he did. I'll tell you this, when they announced Jackson Dean was taking the Berrien job, the Berrien folks were happy, but you know who was not happy? The Cook fans. They knew what they were losing. By the way, Cook loses tonight to North Murray. The Cook High Hornets season comes to an end. Nadir Muse Muhammad. Hughes over East Paulding, 45-28. Closer than I thought. Yeah, that is a little bit closer. Michael Abert. The H is solid, isn't it, Michael? Kell High School hosts Southwest DeKalb next week. Oh, Kell was the other team, by the way, that I was thinking of earlier. That was the other team I said to watch out for. 5 teams I said to look out for this year. Kell, McEachern. Anyway, I forget. Whatever. Peaches on the road to Jenkins. Shout out to Barron. Yep, I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm reading your comment again there, buddy. Boy, you're not kidding, Gabe Garrett. That Toombs County, Worth County game, wow. Big time. Big time. There's going to be some big-time games coming up, by the way, in that classification, that A Division II, for sure. So what do you guys think, by the way? This is going to be the final year that we've had this, and I'm so glad that you won't have to say A Division II, A Division I. It becomes back just Class A next year. And by the way, we go back to 7A. 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, as it should be, in private. Did you guys know that if next year in Georgia, the power ranking system will determine the playoff seeds, not top 4 seeds in every region. That's not going to work anymore. Did y'all know that if that power ranking system that will go into effect in 26, if it was in effect now, every Region 1-6A team, Camden and Tift County, would be in the playoffs tonight. How about that? For sure. Kerry Claiborne, what's up, Kerry? Boy, you had a squeaker tonight up there at Buford, didn't you? I don't know how you stood it. Kerry, man, I'm sitting here thinking the same thing, buddy. How in the world did Walton beat McEachern? I do not know. That's going to be a rough coaches show with Kareem Reed on Tuesday. That one's got me a little rattled. I'll be honest with you. That one's got me a little rattled. I was not expecting. I was looking at McEachern making a run to the quarters, at least. McEachern, undefeated, 10-0, going into the playoffs with a full head of steam. Come on. How does that happen? Well, that's why they call it the playoffs. One and done. But Kerry, I'm right there with you, brother. All right, Johnny Holcomb. I believe Deron Foster and Marquise Fennell both hit 1,000-yard rushing on the year tonight for us. Man, listen. One of the best 1-2 punches. Boom, boom. By the way, I'll plant a little seed here. We got a big announcement here at ITG next coming up on Tyreek Wade. Just a little nugget. Let you guys figure out what that might be. All right. Valdossa's biggest improvement is their very disciplined, fast-moving downhill tempo offense versus the east-west ball movement in the previous 2 years. I will say this, Lyric, and that's a good observation about the Cats, but I think you hit it on the head in your very first few words. Discipline. Because I think the lack of is probably what cost them in the Colquitt County game. Johnny Holcomb, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think they outplayed Colquitt, but I think that's why they lost, lack of discipline. Offsides and penalties and, basically that was a big reason they beat Lowndes. They didn't beat themselves. Lowndes was a good team, but Valdosta just did not make any really. They didn't have any self-inflicted penalties, or didn't have any self-inflicted issues versus Lowndes. That was one of the big reasons they beat Lowndes. If they can continue, on that arc, that's going to prove to be big because the talent is there at Valdosta. There's no question about that. No doubt about it. All right, guys, you're watching the Friday Night Scoreboard Show. ITG Next, Phil Jones with you. We do this every Friday night, 10 to midnight. Don't forget, I'll be back with you on a Monday, 5:30 to 7, and by then we will have a much better handle on the playoffs in the second round. Don't go anywhere. I just got to get something to drink. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to walk over to the fridge, and I'm coming right back. Don't move. Do not leave me. Do not leave me. Do not leave me. I can hear you if you leave me. All right. Probably not the best thing to just leave a empty screen there, but something to do there. All right, so here we are. We're back. West Forsyth over Westlake, and there's another team, man. What's happened to Westlake? I mean, they were one of the most electric athletic teams in the state. That's good. Good old bottle Coke. Can't beat it. Kenny Claiborne. Wonder if there was a game-changing injury or something. I sure hope not. Yeah, that's a good point. Darius Kirksey says, welcome in, Darius. Darius Kirksey says, McEachern is young. They'll be right back. They will be. And that's the thing about it. You know, they were able to win all season long, even with some of their big guns that were hurt for most of the year. They've got one of the deepest running back rooms or groups, whatever you want to say, in the state. That's why I was so high on McEachern, even way back in the preseason when I looked at their running backs. I mean, they're loaded. So that's a good call, Darius Kirksey. They will be back, but obviously that it does very little to minimize the disappointment of their premature exit tonight from the first round from the playoffs. That's shocking. To me, that's the biggest upset in a night that had a few upsets, but not many. But that's the biggest one. McEachern going down to a Walton team who is really, again, not the Walton team you think of when you think of the Walton Raiders. But they got it done tonight, so to the victor go the spoils. But Kerry, I'm with you, man. I hope there was not an injury. I don't know. I'll find out. Obviously, again, McEachern Coach's show that I host with Kareem Reed. We will talk with the coach about this game, this loss tonight, and what the future holds for McEachern. I hate that. I do. McEachern loses tonight, and I've really grown pretty close to our friends at McEachern. Good bunch of folks, for sure. Lyric Baker, yeah, Phil, Westlake just fell off overnight. They did, didn't they? Again, there's just a number of teams that have done that. It's just like, poof, they just disappeared. It's crazy. It almost makes you wonder, you know, you see all these teams like Carrollton. I don't know, just, Grayson. I mean, Buford. Buford has probably been the most consistent, dominant team that I can think of. And I'm sure there's some others. But, guys, if you would have predicted that Irwin County, that's right, little Irwin County. Irwin County has been as dominant as anybody in this state. Forget the Class A school winner. Go back and look at Irwin County's finishes the last decade. You'll see state championship, state finals, I mean, it's incredible what they've done, and they just fall off the wagon. But you got to wonder, who's the next big school to drop like that? You know, it ought to teach you a lesson that you never really know. Amazing. Kerry Clayton, did you get my, what is that? Player of the Week nominee? No. Buford kicker, 4-for-4 on extra points and drilled a 48-yard field goal in a 30. Oh, was that tonight? Kerry, thank you for that, buddy. Kerry, send me a text on that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And by the way, guys, anybody else that y'all have got, a player that had a big night tonight, this is what I'm looking for. Candidates for our ITG Next Top 10 Performers list. Guys, when we do this, when I post our top 10 performers, these kids love it. I will get direct messages from these kids. Mr. Jones, thank you. It's an honor being a part of your top 10 or y'all's top 10 performers list this week. Man, you don't think that makes your day? And I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a kid that's, one of the best. And look, we don't discriminate. It doesn't matter if it's a kid you've never heard of or what. If they've had a good night, we want to certainly consider them for our top performers. So Kerry, thank you for that, brother, for sure. Johnny Holcomb, I believe McEachern blew out Walton early in the year. You know what? They did. Gosh, that's right. I forgot about that. They beat them in the first game of the year, Johnny, in the Corky Kill Classic. I had forgotten all about it. I don't know why I forgot. I talked about it with Kareem Reed this past week. They beat them 52-17. Good call, Johnny Holcomb. Good call. I'd forgotten all about that. Wow. What a shocker. So they beat Walton in the Corky Kill Classic. I think they played in the Dome. First game of the year, and they just manhandled them. So, guys, let's talk about that. That sounds like a matter of where maybe a McEachern team went in a little overconfident. I don't know. I'll talk to Kareem Reed about it on the McEachern Coaches Show this week. I'll ask him about that. I'll ask him what happened. Were you a little overconfident? I don't know. That's a good call, Johnny. I'd forgotten all about that. You're right. 52-17. They beat him in the Corky Kill Classic game week 1. Sure did. Stephen K. Wynn now comments on that as well. Reminds me of 2018, Warner Robins beating Bainbridge 38-0 in the regular season and Bainbridge beating them for the title. That's a good call, Stephen K. Wynn. That's another one. Man, that's why you never know, do you guys? That's 2 examples right there. Good call. Darius Kirksey. What was the Rome Lovejoy score? I don't know. Somebody helped Darius out. Rome did win that, and it looks like we're setting up a Rome Hoco matchup next week, and Hughes going to host Lee County next week. So we've got some really good round 2 games coming up where tonight was some so-so games. I say so-so games in round 1, but man, we had some upsets, didn't we? How about that? 11:18. We're going to be with you till midnight tonight. Thanks so much for checking in with us. Stay with us, guys. Let's hang in there, man. Let's talk together. Let's talk about the playoffs. Kerry Claiborne, thank you for that. Kerry says, I already texted you. Okay, I got you, brother. Appreciate that. So, yes, I'm with you, man. He makes the list for sure. Speaking of Irwin County, their former head coach is now the new head coach at Camden County. Yep. Talked to John Lindsay today, wrote a story on that. We were one of the first people to break that this morning. I got the call on that, I don't know, about 9 o'clock this morning. Hey, Camden County about to make the announcement on a new head coach, and posted on our Facebook page earlier this morning. But then later, I wrote a story that's posted on our website about that. John Lindsay, the new head coach at Camden. And so I've kind of made 2 stories out of one there. So, guys, Travis Rowland had been dismissed for 48 hours. And then Camden announces that they've hired John Lindsay. Did Travis Rowland get a chance to get in and clean out his desk is my question. But seriously, how many years, and this is another story I'm working on, and I've talked to a couple of coaches to get their opinion. How many years should a coach be given, a new head coach, a new hire? How many years should a new hire head coach be given to succeed? What do you guys think? Is it, because Travis Rowland got 2 years. Now, you don't make the playoffs, that's going to expedite things, though. That's going to speed it up. Yes, first year, I think that Camden has not made the playoffs since 2017. And that's not Camden. That's just not Camden. You got to make the playoffs. I think there's a couple of things. The fact that it's Camden, the fact you didn't make the playoffs, the fact that, Travis Rowland came in behind Jeff Herron, who had taken Camden to the 2023 semifinals. Had a lot of things working against him. I think folks in Camden, they expect more, and they didn't get it. But still, is 2 years enough? Jackson Dean, we've been talking about you, brother. We've been talking about Berrien County all night. Jackson Dean, the head coach of the Berrien County Rebels, checking in. Congratulations, Coach. We've been talking about this Berrien score. 7-0 upset. Way to go, Coach. We're proud of you, man. In fact, I've been trying to ask people all night, what was the rallying cry? I forgot it already. Dadgummit. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed in front of the head coach now. Raise the bar. That's it. Raise the bar. Coach Jackson Dean had everybody in the T-shirts. He had everybody buying into the new culture at Berrien County. Coach, man, we're proud of you, brother. Really are, man. I remember when we heard you were getting the job, and the Berrien County folks were definitely happy. But you know who was not happy? And that was the Cook folks. They knew they were losing a good one. And so you know what? Congratulations, brother. So Berrien now plays who in round 2? I can't. That is great that we're saying that. Berrien's going to round 2 in the playoffs. Jackson Dean, you may not have to buy another meal in Nashville. Jackson Dean for mayor. I love it. Jackson Dean, coach says these kids fought their tails off. Community showed up and showed out. Great to be Berrien Rebel. I hear you, brother. That is fantastic, man. Raise the bar indeed, brother. I got to get one of them T-shirts, man. I'm serious. I'll wear it everywhere. I promise you. Proud of you, Coach Jackson Dean. What a great job. All right, so Berrien going to play Raven. Do you guys have to go up there, Coach? Talk about going from one end of the state to the other. All right, man. All right, I will wear it proudly. I'll wear it proudly, Jackson Dean. I appreciate that, brother. We're proud of you, man. We've been talking about you all night. We've been talking about Berrien all night. Sorry. Congratulations. Huge win for the Berrien Rebels. One of the biggest upsets. I say upset. I mean, let's face it. We were proud that Berrien was going to the playoffs, but I think a lot of people were thinking Lamar would win, but not only that, but Berrien wins it and gets the shutout. 7-0 tonight. What a great win. Just a great win, man. I love it. This is the epitome of high school football. When a team like Berrien County, a coach like Jackson Dean does what they did tonight, does what he did tonight, does what he's been doing all year long. Talk about turning the culture around, man. And look, there's been some coaches going into Berrien and just have not been able to get it done. So it's a hard job. Full appreciation to what Jackson Dean has done at Berrien. Coach, I'm so impressed, man. So impressed. I really am. Well done. Congratulations, dude. So happy for you. Don't mess that up. I'm not going to mess it up. I almost did. A little slip of the tongue there. All right. Calvin McGirt. What's up, Calvin? Where was Joe Lindsay coaching this year? John Lindsay. So that's a good point. So John Lindsay, former Cook coach, former Camden defensive coordinator, he was not coaching anywhere. In fact, his coaching has been pretty sparse. He was with Robbie Pruitt at Coffee. And then he was with Heron when Heron came back to Camden in 2021. But that's been it, Calvin. That's been his last coaching job. So John Lindsay is coming out of retirement, basically, to take the job at Camden. In case you guys didn't hear, John Lindsay, the former Camden defensive coordinator, has been hired to take over the Camden County head coaching position. And it was exactly, I think, 48 hours, almost 2 days to the hour. The dismissal of Travis Rowland was announced Wednesday morning. And then this morning, about mid-morning, the announcement came from Camden County School System that John Lindsay had been hired. So that didn't take long, did it? Ty Bailey, what's up? How about them Purple Canes? Absolutely. Big win for Fitzgerald tonight. They'll move on. By the way, Ty, who does Fitzgerald have next week? Nadir Muse Muhammad, upset watch in 5A. Gainesville at Brunswick and Milton at Jackson County. Johnny Holcomb, Camden should have hired Rush. Well, by the way, Johnny, speaking of Rush, anybody have an update on how Rush is doing over at Coosa Christian in Alabama? I talked to him last week, and he was happy as a lark. Listen, guys, Rush has been rejuvenated. Rush told me, he said, Phil, I'm back. He said, Rush is back. That was his exact words. If you're not a school if you're not a school taking a look at Rush, you're crazy. You owe it to yourself to bring this guy in. And please save me the holier than thou thing that all you guys get on when you start talking about Rush. Don't do that. We've all come way short of the glory of God, let me tell you. And we'll never do enough to fully satisfy what he expects from us. That's me, that's you, that's Rush, that's anybody. I'm not going to preach to you, but just remember that when you talk about Rush. He's done a lot of good. Yes, he's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. But one thing, Rush can coach football. So, that's for sure. But I know Rush's name was mentioned briefly at Camden. I don't think they really seriously considered him. But Johnny says, could you imagine Rush at Camden County? He would have them rolling in no time. Yeah. Look, you got everything you need at Camden. It's one of the Kings Bay is one of the best places in Georgia to live. Excuse me. It's one of the fastest growing counties or areas in the state. People desire to live there. I talked to John Lindsay today, by the way, soon after he was hired. And, he told me, he said, Region 1, big boy football at the beach. It's got everything you want. Great place to live. Great, just a great place to live. It's a great place. So I think he's going to do well there. Yes, Calvin, I was. Calvin McGirt. Long time Mr. Valdosta Wildcat. Were you shocked by McEachern being upset by Walton? Big time. In fact, I think that's the biggest upset of the night. And I've got to do, and of course, I'll host the McEachern Coaches Show this Tuesday. One of 5 coaches shows that I host. And I would obviously rather these coaches win when I talk to them. That's going to be tough. That'll be a tough one on Tuesday. McEachern Coaches Show right here on ITG Next. Now, we'll enjoy talking with Sean Calhoun, Colquitt County Coaches Show. We'll do that one on Tuesday as well. Colquitt gets the win tonight up at Mill Creek at Hushton, I think that's how you say it. Now Colquitt has the benefit of going to making another trip up to North Georgia to take on Grayson. But Calvin, to answer your question, yes, I was. That's the biggest upset of the night. Yep. Other coaches shows that you can watch on ITG Next this upcoming week. My conversation with Jeff Hammond, Worth County Coaches Show. They get the big win tonight. Houston County Coaches Show. Myself and Jeremy Edwards will be talking on Monday morning about Hoco's big win, and now it looks like they're going to go to Rome or take on Rome in the second round. Also, the Roswell Coaches Show. Myself and JT Thompson, they get the win tonight. So we'll talk about Roswell's next game coming up. Again, guys, you can catch all those coaches shows I just mentioned right here at ITG Next. All right, Rosser Sutherland. Man, tough night for your Marietta Blue Devils. Man, I hate that. Just got home from Harrison where they beat Marietta tonight 45-35. We just couldn't play any defense. It was a great season with a disappointing finish. At least the Darlings of McEachern lost tonight. Come on, man. That's not going to make you feel any better. Shouldn't. Nah, man. Nah, don't go there. Don't get in the weeds, Rosser. Come on, buddy. Be happy about what your Marietta Blue Devils did this week or this year. Cam Duke, a great job coming up from Edgewater, Orlando. I know Cam had been trying to get to Georgia for a while. I know because I talked to him like every year for the last 5 years. That's good. Hey, listen, these Florida coaches want to come to Georgia. Yeah, make some money. Come to good programs. Johnny Holcomb gives the smiley face. Johnny, is that right, man? Come on. And listen, here's the thing about it. Here's the truth. Now, when McEachern going down, man, that quadrant of the bracket is all Valdosta now. You know, Valdosta was looking at running into McEachern in the quarters. And that's given that they take care of business, and they will. So now we got to take a look at what it's going to make it even easier, Valdosta's path even easier to, the semifinals and maybe even the finals. But listen, Valdosta, just like Jeff Herron and Rush Probst said last week when I spoke to him, you guys can check out the story. I asked them both, what is the key to getting back for a South Georgia Class 6A team, meaning a Region 1 6A team, to get back to the state title game? They both said the same thing. You got to win your region. That's number one. And Valdosta did that this year. And now we're seeing why it's so important. Okay? Valdosta wins the region. They're going to stay at home for a little while. And their path is a lot better than what Colquitt County is going to have to go through, what Lowndes is going to have to go through. Lowndes, if I'm not mistaken, are going to have to play North Gwinnett next week. Johnny Holcomb, we need to focus on Brookwood and playing all 4 quarters. Yep. Now, that's going to be a pretty good game, Johnny. I think Valdosta obviously going to be favored. Again, it's another deal. It's like I've been talking about. Brookwood, another one of those blue blood programs who just aren't playing like they used to. They're not playing up to their history. But you're right. That's going to be a good game. But you got to play up to your potential. And I've been saying that. I think that's what's haunted Valdosta this year. That's what haunted them in the Colquitt game. You know, you should have beat Colquitt. You know that. I'm preaching to the choir. But Roster Sutherland, who would have thought we would have Walton at East Coweta to go to the quarters? Yeah. See that. Yeah, that's the thing I hate about upsets. I mean, I'm obviously I host the McEachern Coaches Show. I like Coach Kareem Reed. He's done a great job this year. They were undefeated. It's bad when you lose your first game in an upset against a team that you beat 52-17 to start the year off with. McEachern beat Walton in the Corky Hill Classic to start the year. It's hard to figure. You know, but it's hard to figure, but it's also the beauty of high school football where if you take somebody for granted, you could have a bad night. Johnny Holcomb adds, we came out with very low energy versus Decula, and we sleptwalked through the first half. Can't do that again. Yeah, Johnny, I was keeping up with the game a little bit, and I saw where it was really close, and I was concerned about that. I was watching the Colquitt Mill Creek game, and Colquitt struggled a little bit with Mill Creek as well. But yeah, I saw that, Johnny, and you're right. You got to come out, man, and put the hammer down for sure. All right, looking for any other upsets tonight. I'm trying to think if there's any games that I haven't heard about. Any big first. Are you guys now? Are we sure LaGrange and North Clayton, is that tomorrow? Because somebody actually gave us a score on that, and I don't know where that score came from. Alan Clinton, what's up, Alan? Berrien County were probably the biggest win of the night. Yep, we just had Jackson Dean in here, the coach himself, talking about it. A big time win. You're absolutely right, Alan. That is one of the biggest wins of this first round of the playoffs in any classification. Berrien County defeats Lamar 7-0. Huge win. Philip and Stephanie Rowan, proud of these Rebels, man. You gotta be. That's huge. Big time. By the way, thanks to Jackson Dean for stopping in, man. I love that guy. And the Raise the Bar shirt, he said, is on the way. I love it. Yep, Alan Clinton, we've been talking about McEachern's loss. That's when I first heard that about an hour ago, I sat here speechless for 30 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating. That one stung. That one surprised me. Lyric Baker. I don't care if Rush starred on. Oh, man, it's the quote of the night. Larry Baker. I don't care if Rush started on Cobbs. I'm still hiring him. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Rush comes for you? I love it. Hillgrove over North Paulding, 28-25. Hillgrove goes to West Forsyth. Douglas County goes to North Cobb. Douglas County, North Cobb is going to be a pretty big one. Now, Douglas County has disappointed a little bit this year so far, guys. I'll probably go with North Cobb in that one, to be honest with you. Scott Sumner. Jason Tone was another name I expected to possibly mention with regards to Camden. Boy, there's a name from the past, Scott. So Jason, he's the guy who used to be at Worth, right? There you go. Did a good job at Worth and spent several years on the staff with Heron. Runs the same wing T system and doing well at TL Hanna. How about that? I did not know he was at TL. Is he the head coach there? Wow, there's a blast from the past. Good call. Blake Henderson, what's up? How about them Canes, Phil? We're going to take over Dublin next week. That's going to be a good one. That's a great second-round matchup. Thanks for that, Blake. Yeah, good job. Congratulations to West Tankersley getting it done. I'm glad to see West Tankersley come into Fitzgerald and doing a good job there. I'm also glad to see the former Fitzgerald coach, Tucker Pruitt, going, of course, to Appling and doing a great job there. That's good. That's good. I like that. All right, we're looking at 11:38. We got about 20 minutes left to go in the show, man. I really appreciate all you guys hanging in there with me, man. Let's take this baby all the way up to midnight. Johnny Holcomb, did Appling win? They did, Johnny. Blake, definitely going to be a good one. Much respect for Dublin. Yep, no doubt. So you guys got to go up to Dublin, the Shamrock Bowl. One of our top 10 stadiums. We did those top stadiums earlier this year. In fact, we did 2 of those stories. And the Shamrock Bowl was one of them. Go Dog 65. GPB lists North Clayton at LaGrange is the only game scheduled tomorrow. Okay, there we go. I guess it is tomorrow. I don't know where that score came from. Somebody gave earlier. Anyway, I've got North LaGrange pick to win that one, 33-21. And by the way, Phil's pick 6. I got Warner Robins East Side right on the money tonight. I picked Warner Robins to win 28-14. They won 28-14. I've been pretty good on these pick 6 this year, and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. I did nothing different this year than I've done in the past few years. But it's just fun. It's just fun to do. Rosser Sutherland. I'm not saying Grayson loses to Colquitt, but I do think Colquitt gives them a good game. We shall see. We shall see. You know, Colquitt is, man, Sean Calhoun, I think, is one of the best coaches in the state. You know, he did a really good job at Carrollton. And I guess, I don't know. You know, I thought he kind of got a raw deal at Carrollton. Remember, he leaves Carrollton and he goes to Vestavia Hills. You guys remember that? He goes to Vestavia Hills. That is there in Hoover, Alabama. And I think Sean went like 4-6 or something. Anyway, when the Colquitt job came open, they went calling for Sean, and it's been a good move. He's a good fit. Obviously, he coached at Colquitt under Rush, so he knows what it takes to win at Colquitt. At Go Dog 65, absolutely. I talked about that earlier. He said the score came from Max Preps probably. I'm telling you guys, you can't trust Max Preps, and I have nothing against those guys. They do a great job. But the problem with Max Preps, anybody can go on there and put a score in. I've seen these bogus scores, and I'm just like, the problem is you can sign up to be a manager. A team manager is what they call it at Max Preps. You just sign up for it. And the reason I know that is because I have done that before. I don't post phony scores. I've signed up to be team managers for teams where nobody would give the score. And I thought, come on. So I would know the scores I'd keep up, and I would go in. But my point being that anybody can apply to be a team manager, and anybody can post scores. That's how you get scores in Max Preps. So somebody obviously with bad intentions will go in and post something that, is nowhere near right. So you got to be careful with Max Preps. Score Stream is another one you got to be careful about. That's why, I love to do this show. We get everybody in here talking about scores. I just want to make sure that, we get some accurate scores. Blake Henderson, yes, sir, it's tough to play there, but wouldn't want it any other way. I hear you, buddy. David Wood says Grayson's going to be ready. David, what do you think about all this talk, man, that Colquitt's going to go up here and beat Grayson? Deshaun Suggs. Deshaun, did you get back from your World Cruise, brother? Phil, Carver Columbus over everybody. I agree, man. I wrote the story this week. I said, who's going to stop Carver? Who's going to stop Carver? I don't think anybody's going to stop him. I think Carver can beat anybody in the state. And I'm not talking about just in 2A. I'm talking about anybody. They're that good. I really believe that. Carver has had one close game in the last 2 years. That was that 8-7 deal at Sumter where it was raining and nasty and skank. So, okay, so Scott says, that Jason is the head coach at T.L. Hanna, has them 10-1, still alive in South Carolina 5A playoffs. How about that? Alan Clinton, I'm not seeing any actual upsets at all. Well, again, Berrien upsetting Lamar is an upset. Walton upsetting McEachern, that's an upset. But other than that, you're right, there's not a whole lot. Johnny Holcomb. Interesting how Justin Rogers couldn't get it done at Colquitt, but has turned TCC into a powerhouse. Yeah. Johnny, I'll say this. He took Colquitt up there to Norcross. You remember that a couple of years ago? Well, I guess it was the last year at Colquitt. And they were playing in that. It was a quag. The field was wet. It was soaked. And it did not play into Colquitt's hands. Let's put it that way. But you know what? He's come into Thomas County Central, and he's done a great job. He's done a great job. Sometimes, all the stars and planets align, and he's doing a great job there. Can't take anything away from that for sure. Bo Harris, Ramon Houston's going to be a good one. That is going to be a good one, Bo Harris. Thanks so much for checking in the show, buddy. David Woods, respect for their program, of course. Nathan Sloan, thanks, Phil. Y'all awesome. Go Pack Go. Appreciate that, buddy. Deshaun Suggs, yeah, I'm back after being 17 hours stranded in the airport. Well, man, that's no fun. Deshaun, it was great following you on Facebook, though, man. I'll check every day to see where you were on the World Cruise, man. That is so cool. I've never been on a cruise. I want to go. That's on my bucket list. So definitely want to go on a cruise at some point. Larry Baker, Phil, if my picks with Georgia Cash for. Well, like most of your score predictions, I'll be driving a Lamborghini. That's hilarious, Larry. I appreciate that, buddy. Deshaun Suggs was looking forward to playing Justin Newman and his Chris County Cougars. Yep. You're right. So let's add that one to the upset list too, guys. Deshaun, you're right, man. I thought Justin had Chris playing really well. I mean, really, guys, if you look at Chris all year long, they were in every single game except the Fitzgerald game. And the way Chris was playing coming down the stretch, I thought that they were going to roll into the playoffs with some momentum. That's why the Stevens County game kind of shocked me, to be very honest with you. But, yeah, I was looking forward to that Carver Chris County matchup myself, Deshaun. Yeah, I got you, Alan. I knew what you meant, buddy. I got you. Scott Sumner. Proposed reclassification as Worth County and Carver, Columbus, and 1AAA. I saw that. 1AAA will also include Cook, Crisp, Jordan, Kendrick, and Sumter County. Boy, that'll be a beast, won't it? Yikes. Scott, I asked you earlier, man, are you any kin to Steve Sumner? I never heard your answer. I worked with Steve Sumner in the newspaper business, so I was asking. I didn't really work with him. He was a big, big wheel. But he's from Berrien County. I think that's where he lives. All right. So I'll be making some predictions on these class or these second round games. And again, we will be talking on Monday night show, 5:30. We do the same show, 5:30 on Mondays, 5:30 to 7 o'clock Monday. So Monday, we'll have a lot better idea, obviously, of where the playoffs are, as far as who's playing who, and we'll get a pretty good grip on who's going to be the favorites. And look, I love Lauren Maxwell. Sometimes he's right. I love Lauren, the Maxwell projections. Alan, I know you and I were talking about a couple of games where we didn't think. There was a couple of games that were really, I think Lowndes was picked by 42 over Collins Hill. Lowndes did win. But we're going to have some big-time games coming up on Friday. Lowndes going to go to North Gwinnett. Colquitt going to go to Grayson. Houston County and Rome. That's going to be so big. Coffee gets beat tonight. I thought they would beat Sequoia, so I missed that one. By the way, guys, I know. What did Brooks County do, guys? I haven't seen anything on Brooks County. Amy Hendricks McCrae. What's up, Amy? Hey, Phil, Pierce got the kinks out of their armor, like you said they need to get to do, and defeated Ringgold tonight 45-14. That's a good win for Pierce, Amy. Good win. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to get those kinks out. They've been kind of struggling a little bit. That's a big win for Coach Ryan Herring in Pierce County. Big win, 45-14 over Ringgold. Big win tonight. Thank you for that, Amy. Does anybody have anything on Brooks County? I have not seen anything on that all night, and I can't believe that. Brooks County and Taylor County, right? Does anybody have anything on Brooks and Taylor? I cannot believe I haven't seen anything on that. The last score I had on Brooks was, I had Brooks 10-6, and that was second quarter. Johnny, go check it next Friday, Phil, hopefully after the Cats win. Absolutely. Johnny, we'd love to see you on Monday night show too, buddy. Really love seeing you come in here on Friday nights, Johnny. I really appreciate that, man. All right, so there we go. Scott, I'm Worth County born and raised, Phil. He's probably a distant cousin. I hear you, man. I got you. I got you. I appreciate that. You just wonder, You just wonder. And thank you for saying that, Scott. Appreciate that, buddy. I really do, man. It means a lot to hear these compliments from you guys. Thank you for saying that, Scott. Okay, Go Dog 65 per GPB. Brooks County 24-6 over Taylor. So here's another thing about Brooks, guys, and I've mentioned this a couple of times. So we do the top 10 along with the AJ. We contribute. We're one of 5 outlets in the state that contribute to the composite ranking, along with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Georgia High School Football Daily, and 680 The Fan Atlanta, Score Atlanta. And all of us have had Brooks County in the top 10 all year long. And, I had a lot of people asking about that. Whether they're 5-5. Well, they were 5-5 last year, and they went to the state title game. Now, they lost to Bowden. But I think Brooks is one of these teams. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to what their regular season record is. That's why I didn't tonight. That's why I think that, I think that they have a chance to make a run. Does Brooks County. I like Josh McFather. Great coach. I like what he's done there at Brooks. Again, they were 5-5 last year. They make the run to the state finals. I just think that's the kind of team that they've got. And so it's kind of funny, You look at the top 10 this year in all classifications, and we had Brooks County, all of us did, top 5. And about the only 5-5 team you're going to find ranked that high. But everybody had that confidence in Brooks County. Just saying. Larry Godwin, what's up, Lil G? I know it. Larry, we had Jackson Dean in here earlier, man. Congratulating Coach Dean for what he's done at Berrien. Raise the bar, baby. And Larry, big win for the Vikings tonight. They took care of business, like we kind of thought they would over Collins Hill. Larry fixed my computer, by the way. I got to give credit where credit's due. LG and I worked on this thing Monday night. LG was going to be on the Monday night show, and I couldn't hear him. So Larry, one of these guys, said, I'm not going to let that beat me. So we got back together, and Larry fixed the sound. So, Larry, join me on Monday night show, man, now that we can hear each other. We're going to have you on Monday night show. And we'll talk high school football, brother. Larry Godwin, the Viking Nation's a good friend of mine. Deshaun Suggs, thank you for that. Brooks, 24-6. So, boy, you know what? I would love to see Brooks and Bowden another matchup in the state finals. Wouldn't that be something? Okay, guys, I want to remind y'all. So, thanks, Larry. Yeah, we'll talk about it over the weekend, man. We'll get you on Monday show. You and I can host that. Larry and I, we really do well together, hosting these shows together. So you guys check out the coaches shows that I'll host on Monday and Tuesday. Worth County Coaches Show with Jeff Hammond. The Houston County Coaches Show with Jeremy Edwards. The Colquitt County Coaches Show, myself and Sean Calhoun. Man, I'm going to have to have that McEachern Coaches Show with Kareem Reed. That's going to be tough. I was expecting to be talking about a win, but they did not win tonight. And then, of course, also we'll be hosting the Roswell Coaches Show with JT Thompson. Look out for Roswell. They may be a force to be reckoned with in 5A in these playoffs. I tell you what, JT Thompson, one of the candidates for Coach of the Year this year in 5A. Jackson Dean, certainly a candidate for Coach of the Year. Got a lot of coaches that are very worthy of that. Cam Duke at Marietta, and out, kind of a dark horse, but you know what? He's done a great job. All right, we got about 5 minutes or so left to go in the show. Now, these are the diehards. I love it when we get the last 5-6 minutes, and these 30 or so folks in here with me, man. This is the diehards. These are the ones that are going to stick to it to the end. Don't watch everybody disappear on me. Don't do that. So what do you guys think? So I like Amy Hendricks McCray talking about, Pierce County, big win tonight. Can Pierce County get back up off the schneid and make some noise? They obviously ended the regular season with a little bit of a whimper. But big win tonight. Nothing, again, like getting a big playoff win to get you back up. Eugene Tillman, go Canes. What's up, Eugene? Appreciate you checking in here, buddy. Boy, I tell you, a lot of Fitzgerald fans checking in. So who does Fitzgerald have next week? Somebody's been telling, I know we've been talking about that. The Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes. You guys got to be excited about what Coach Tankersley has done. And I've talked about this before. I'm excited to see, Coach Tankersley coming in behind a legend in Tucker Pruitt. Big shoes to fill. That's a tough gig. But he gets it done at Fitzgerald. And then Tucker Pruitt goes to Appling County. And he's been able to get it done over there with the Pirates. So 2 good success stories. And I like that. I like how that worked out. Theo Tractor Trailer Thomas says, Jose Medina, he coached at Berrien before going to Thomas County Central. Yes. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So wait a minute. So Pilcher was at Berrien, went to Central, and then went back to Berrien? Is that right? Maybe I knew that. Didn't realize that. All right, guys, if you're just checking in with us, some shockers tonight. McEachern gets beat by Walton. In my opinion, it's the biggest upset. Berrien, big win. First round playoff. They shut out Lamar tonight, 7-0. Man, that is a team playing with nothing but heart, man. That is a heck of a coaching job by Jackson Dean. I know I keep talking about it, but it just is. That's big time. Again, guys, if you have any players you can tell me about before we leave tonight, who are some top performer candidates for this week? We've had a couple. But running backs, look, kickers, punters, defensive players, these kids love it when we select them for top performers. Larry, Larry, I'm glad you're in here. I figured you could answer this. So Pilcher was an assistant at Berrien, then he was head coach at Early, then head coach at TCC, then Bainbridge. I forgot about about him going to Bainbridge, Larry, and then back to Berrien. How about that? I'd forgotten all about that. Or, I don't even know that I knew he was assistant at Berrien to begin with. What a career Ed Pilcher had. By the way, I talked with his son, Billy Pilcher, today. I was in Thomasville today. Small world, ain't it? Thank you for that, Larry. Again, guys, don't forget Monday night, 5:30 to 7. We'll be right here, and we'll have a better handle on who's playing who in the second round. We'll do just like we're doing tonight, man. We'll take everybody's comments, and I'll go down the list, try to read everybody's comments. And I hope I did not skip anybody. I hate it when I do that. Go Dog 65. Phil, you need to check YouTube comments more often. Well, now, see, this is supposed to bring everybody's comments into one. I'm getting this master feed, and it's supposed to be giving me Facebook, YouTube, and X. So did I miss some on YouTube? Go Dog 65. Larry says, I played for him at Berrien in the 80s. Okay, I got you. How about that? Ed Pilcher. Man, what a great story. Is he still alive? I think that's why he resigned from Berrien. When he had some health issues. All right, guys. We're out of time. What a great 2 hours it was tonight. Talking high school sports, high school football with you guys. We'll be back with you on Monday, 5:30 to 7 o'clock, right here, ITG Next. Appreciate you guys. Check out all of our content at ITG Next, guys. We have all kind of stuff. Subscribe to our newsletter. Doesn't cost you a dime. Come to your email inbox twice a week, and we give you all kind of interesting polls and stats and picks, and we have a lot of fun with it, covering the whole state of Georgia high school sports. So until Monday at 5:30, I'm Phil Jones, ITG Next Extra Point, and our Friday night Extra Point scoreboard show. I gave the Deerfield score earlier. It was missed. No big deal. I think I read that, though. Deerfield wins, and they're going to the state championship game, right? Go Dog 65. But anyway, so Deerfield wins. I talk to Jake McCray all the time, by the way. Great coach, doing a great job there at the Albany school. Okay, guys. See you Monday, 5:30. Have a good weekend.